Welcome to part 2 of the lab. Part 2 of the lab is to completely displace or move this much water out of this flask when it's turned upside down in this tub of water here. And you have to figure out the exact amount of baking soda and vinegar to do that. You already know the correct ratio to use from part 1 of the lab. So let's say you came up with a 15-to-1 ratio. You're going to use that ratio every time. So let's say you think it's 1 gram of baking soda to 15 milliliters of water. You could try that first if you wanted to. Let's say you wanted to double that. Well, then you'd use 2 grams of baking soda for 30 milliliters of vinegar. So you just always use the ratio you came, but you can adjust the amounts within that ratio. So I'm not going to use any specific amounts. I just want to demo how to do this. So one thing you can do is wrap your baking soda in a Kleenex, and what will happen is it will slow the reaction so it doesn't all fizz out at once, and the reaction won't happen immediately when you put it in the container. So I'm going to pour in my vinegar. Again, I'm not going to use measurements because I don't want to spoil any of the information, but say I have my vinegar in here. And so I put some vinegar in there, and you would have measured all that out. I'm going to carefully turn this upside down without losing any water. Put this in here to the top. And the secret is to do this relatively quickly. So when I add the baking soda, by the way, it's wrapped in the Kleenex here, measured out to the ratio I already determined. I'm going to push it in, and I'm going to immediately cap. And as I do that, you'll see bubbles coming out here. You'll see it reacting down here. And I'm going to twirl to I can't, okay, so you see bubbles coming out here now. So that means I have way too much baking soda and vinegar. You don't want that much, so you would repeat the experiment with less until you perfectly displace the water out of here, and you have no excess carbon dioxide coming out of the tube. So that's your goal for part 2 of the lab. Good luck.